All right, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to Dream Talk, episode 22. I'm joined by John Copestick and Tanner Gooden, who is the head coach for the Dubois Dream for the 2022 PBL season. Thank you for joining us tonight, Tanner. And John, it's a pleasure to work with you again today.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Tanner. Thank you again for being on. It's awesome to have you here. We're so happy that you're the new head coach of the Dream. They were able to find one pretty quickly, and we're happy to have you here tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. Let's just get right to it. Why not?
So I wanted to start out, Tanner. Obviously, reading the press release from the Dream on you. You're from Dubois. You went to Dubois High School. You played and you coached at Penn State Dubois. So now that you're getting the head coaching job for the top team in town, and you have all this experience of being in your hometown, how has all that experience prepared you to be able to take this head coaching job with the Dream?
Yeah, it's actually a little crazy. Being from Dubois, and I ventured out. Got to a lot of different areas. All over the country. Came back home, talked to Albert, and he said, "What do you think?" And at first, I kind of thought he was messing with me. I was like, "Man, like you can find another coach. You don't need me." But man, it's crazy. And being from this area, Dubois it's a different area. Real small town. Middle of Pennsylvania. So being from here definitely helps connect with the locals. But having that out of town experience for me, I think that'll help with like any guys we bring in too.
Awesome. And another thing I really liked about you reading your press release, you fit right in with the Dream's values and helping out the community and wanting to grow the game of basketball in your town of Dubois. So now that you're the head coach, you're not only going to be coaching the Dream, but also helping out with the AAU and the youth programs as well. So now that you're in a position to be able to help the community and grow the game of basketball in your town, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. This area is not a basketball area at all. People in this area, they like football, they like wrestling. Basketball's like 10th tier. But Albert's been able to come in, get genuine interest in the game in this community in like 5 years. So to be able to be a part of this and continue to grow the game, especially through AAU, I think that's even more important than what we're doing with the adult team. Just getting genuine interest in the game and teaching kids to love this game the way we did, but being able to give them a better platform to do it. I think Albert's doing a phenomenal thing here.
I would agree, Nick. I'll kick it over to you.
So obviously, like John mentioned, you played, in the Dubois area. You played Penn State. It was pretty close. Can you talk about what was the culture like while playing, with your teammates, and what was it like going to school as a college athlete?
Playing in Dubois High School and playing in Dubois in college, two very different experiences. Dubois High School is never real good at basketball. We never really make it through states. Being a bigger school in a small town, we just don't. Then stepping into Penn State Dubois, they had just come off, conference championships in 2011, 2012. Big time players coming in for that level. So just crazy experience to see. The guys we bring in from out of town areas, the Philly area especially. I think Philly is a mecca for basketball. So just getting to see all that was really great.
Yep. And now I actually want to transition to another question that we actually asked a lot of our players on this podcast. What are your thoughts on the new name, image, and likeness? Because obviously, you and a lot of other people didn't have the opportunity to make money. But what are your thoughts of that new transition since July?
Again, I think it's great. Anything we can do to help these younger people, it's phenomenal. I remember, in college joking around, like being a D3 athlete, I wasn't going to get paid anyway, but I was like, man, I wish I'd get some money for this. And now seeing that kids can, it's going to help a lot of people. There's really no negatives about it unless you're a true purist, but it's going to help a lot of people in a lot of ways. So I'm all on board with it. I hope everyone gets paid, and gets what they deserve.
Yep.
So transitioning back to your job with the Dream, now you're going to be, it's for season 6. You're going to be the guy on the sidelines with the team this year. So now that you're in that position to be the head coach, what kind of play style do you want to play on both ends? How do you want to play offensively? And also how do you want to play in the defensive end as well?
That's still up in the air. We're gonna have to see who we can get in. You know what type of players we have. If we can be super athletic, get up and down quick, dunk on people, shoot quick threes, we'll do that. If we have to set people to death and use 24 seconds every time, you know, that's what we'll do it. But we are going to have a hard work ethic. We are going to play defense. We're starting workouts this Saturday. We're hoping to have one of our trainers, Samantha, come in. I think you guys had her on the show before. She's going to come in and put them through a workout before we get to any basketball stuff. So we're just going to set the tone, you know, right from the go that we're going to be physical with everyone.
Awesome. I think that's a great philosophy to have, no matter what the sport, football, basketball, whatever. You know, toughness and grit is you know, definitely great traits to have on the court. So you mentioned that you're still going through the process of trying to bring players in. So what is your kind of sales pitch to any guys coming in? You know, what do you want to sell people on the Dream, and what kind of players are you looking forward to? And what kind of players are you looking to bring into the Dream?
Well, for the local guys, it's pretty easy. You know, I just say, you know, this is pretty much your only chance to play at a competitive level around here. So for the local guys, it's a real easy pitch. Out of town, you know, trying to convince someone to come to this small area, it's kind of tough. We have to really, you know, show them that we can get them where they want to go through their basketball goals. You know, if they're just trying to, you know, have fun and play, like that's fine. That's an easy sell. If they want to go pro and overseas, that's a whole different thing. We gotta be realistic with each other, you know, as a player and a coach. Like, I'm gonna be realistic with you. If you have it, you know, good, we're gonna get you where you want to go. If you don't have it, you know, it's my job to be real with you that way too.
Yep. Now I kind of want to transition back. I don't know if you had siblings growing up or not, if you were only child, but what point did you fall in love with the game of basketball?
I did have siblings. Most of them didn't really play sports. If they did, it was, you know, football and wrestling, you know, the things that are big around here. But I really fell in love with the game not until freshman year of high school. Like, I played, but I didn't really enjoy it. We had a new coach come in. His name is Scott Creighton. He made me fall in love with the game as a player and a coach. You know, coming in, he taught me things I never even knew existed about basketball, you know, as a player. So I owe everything to him. And then he gave me my first coaching gig over at Dubois High School too, when I was fresh out of an injury on college. So, you know, that man really made me fall in love with it.
Yep. And now I want to get your thoughts on the NBA. Who did you idolize your game after? Who do you like, you know, back then, or who do you like now?
Man, that's a good question. I'd always like to say like Kobe or someone, but I knew from a young age I was not that guy. Like, I was pretty realistic. So, you know, Brian Scalabrine, you know, the role players, you know, that's more my fit on the D3 version of, you know, any of the bench players. But man, I did love watching Kobe, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, you know. I just enjoy the game, and I really do.
Yep. And I actually have one more quick question before I hand it back over to John. Obviously, we've seen D3 teams beat Division I teams, like upset them. While you were playing, what team would you like to play, you know, going up? If you had to choose a D1 school you would like to upset, who would it be?
When I was in college, who would I like to upset? Man, I would have loved to have played Penn State main campus, you know, just the branch school, you know, no chance at ever beating like the parent school. I think that would have been phenomenal. And, you know, Penn State, you know, back then wasn't real good at basketball. So who knows? Maybe we could have had a chance, you know.
Yep.
So kind of piggybacking off of what Nick said, he asked you, you know, who's some of your favorite players that you idolized growing up. So now that you're a coach now, even though you said you really didn't fall in love with the game of basketball until you were a freshman in high school. So, you know, I bet that you probably didn't know that you wanted to be a coach as soon as you got out of school. So who were kind of your idols? You mentioned your high school coach, but who were your other influences that made you want to get into coaching when you were done playing basketball?
My college coach, Dave Bennett, you know, just seeing the work he put in, like his work ethic, his grind, his love for, you know, the kids he was bringing in. You know, being a college coach, you only get to know these kids, you know, sometimes 1 year, up to 4 sometimes, but just the love he had and the work he put in those kids. That made me think, like, I can really change some people's lives if I do this, like, in a positive way. I just want everyone to have it better than I did. I didn't have it too tough, you know. I had a pretty comfortable life, but if I can make anyone, you know, have a bit more positive experience. That's what I'm trying to do.
Awesome. That's great that you say that. So I want to move on. You're playing a season coming up in January. You obviously have a couple months until you get started, but it's going to be your first season coaching in the Premier Basketball League. A lot of expansion going on, some new teams, a bigger schedule now. What are you hoping to get out of your first season as the head coach of the Dream?
That depends who we get in. If we just have a bunch of local guys, I just hope we're competitive. I hope everyone has a good time. If we do end up getting some guys in that want to make it, in the European League or, some kind of professional league somewhere, I hope we can do that for them. I think that would be huge. Regardless of win-losses, I just want everyone to have a positive experience, especially our fans, especially the kids, that's what we keep coming back to. That's really what it's all about. We're going to win games, we're going to lose games. But man, seeing the fans, I don't know if you've ever been up to a Dream game, and the kids love it. They really do. There's not a better show in this small town, for a family. So I just want everyone to be able to show up, and have a good time.
That's awesome. And I love that no matter who you talk to with the Dream, Albert, Coach Rick, whoever, the emphasis is always on the youth and on the kids. So kind of piggybacking that, we alluded to it earlier, you're going to be overseeing the youth in the AAU basketball programs. What are you hoping to do with them? The Dream last year saw on Instagram a bunch. They were winning tournaments and playing competitively in Spooky Nook and a bunch of other big tournaments around here. But what are you looking to accomplish as now the director of kind of the youth and the AAU programs? And what are you hoping to build off of from last season?
I just want to continue to grow, get more kids involved, male and female. Girls basketball is on the rise. Albert stepped in, is doing great with them. And as far as me personally growing it, I kind of take a backseat to AAU. We have phenomenal coaches. We had Jake Perrin, who had been the head coach of the Dream before. He's now the head coach at Punxsutawney High School. I think he's the best young coach in the area. So trust him with everything. We had another young man, Cole Morris, who, helped us out at the higher level with the males. He's phenomenal too. He's now down in Daytona Beach with a prep school. So we had really good coaches helping these kids. I just hope we can continue to get, positive role models in and continue to grow, not only our brand, but I hope we can continue to give these kids opportunities.
I have one more question before I kick it back to Nick. I hate that I'm always, harping. I haven't really branched out, talked about other basketball questions. It's strictly been coaching. But now that you're a head coach, if you could coach any basketball player ever, who would you like to coach?
Any basketball player ever? Man, I would love to coach LeBron because then I don't even have to do anything. He's got it. But I don't know. That's a really good question. I'd never really thought about that. I like coaching the guys we have around here. I really do. Because it's a family unit. No one's out here trying to make millions of dollars. Doing this. We're all just doing it for the love of the game, and not even for ourselves. Just trying to show other people that they can love this game too. So, as much as I'd love to coach, a big name guy, I'm happy coaching who we have here.
Yep. So obviously, we're going to have people view this later. Some people might have tuned in now, but word on the street is Albert can shoot the ball pretty well. But how would you describe your game style?
My game style, man, I'm the opposite of Albert. I cannot shoot the ball. I'm just driving to the lane, used to be able to rise up a little bit. Anymore, I'm driving the lane, hoping a shooter's open because I'm just not that guy at this age. But I love watching Albert shoot. I love watching a lot of guys we have. We have a pretty good group of high level shooters. A couple athletes. So I'm real excited about what we have here.
Yep. And then my final question is: so we had previous guests on this podcast. We asked them what are their thoughts on the NBA Finals. Who do you think was going to win the finals? Do you feel like the Bucks and the Suns are going to return or have a good shot to go back to the finals, or you feel like it's going to be, the typical Lakers and Brooklyn next?
Man, I really think it's going to be Brooklyn and LA. Just looking at those teams, how can you bet against them? Being a Knicks fan, I hope they can knock off Brooklyn. Prove they're the better team in the city, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. So, as basketball fans, how can you not want LeBron, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant and James Harden playing against each other. I think that would be phenomenal.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Tanner, thank you so much for your time. We got some great stuff from you. We're excited, and congratulations to you on becoming the new head coach of the Dubois Dream. Thank you again for your time today.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Yep.